All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to So Much Talent's June Sewalong. And today we're going to be sewing along, or this evening rather, we're going to be sewing along with KnowMe's 2069 by Lynn Brannelly. And you know Lynn from Lynn Wardrobe Sews and also Sewn Adapted. So this is what we're going to be doing. And if you got your pattern and everything, let's go ahead and get that out. Because we are going to, tonight, we're just going to do something real basic. All right. Tonight, we're going to go ahead and just cut the pattern out. We're going to talk tissue fit and stuff like that. So when you come in the room, let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know. If you were one that got the link to inside the room, you're still able to get inside the room. I'm just not able to send you the link now. To link out to somebody new. If you're inside the Facebook group, then you're able to get the link. All right. So basically, let's give it a few minutes and let others come in. Others join live. As you're coming into the room, let me know you're in. Tonight's event is sponsored by So Much Talent. I thought I'd just throw that out there. Hey, Woven Naps, tell me your first name. I'm sure you told me that before, but let me know your first name. Are you going to be sewing along tonight? I'm going to probably take measurements, how I would take measurements, the key measurements that I need, for a good tissue fit, as opposed to trying to fit like drape or something like that. So, all right, so it's Gwen. All right, hey, Gwen. All right, so are you going to be sewing along tonight? Or we're not really going to be sewing tonight. So this is part one. And basically, we're going to take this in steps. I won't be on here. We're not sewing the whole thing together. So I'll be coming in. We'll be doing like check-ins. All right. So just to make sure that you're good. If you have questions, you can ask questions. If you get stuck on something, we can talk about it. But if you're in the Facebook, So Much Talent Facebook group, of course, you're going to always get help there. Right. Hey, Zena. Thank you for showing up. How art thou? You have the pattern, but I'm new to sewing and I'm scared. Girl, don't be scared. Listen, we're going to do this together. So I'm glad you're coming in tonight because we're going to go ahead and start at the very beginning by taking the pattern apart. Okay. So I realized that there's some people that are new to sewing and that's interested in sewing this. So we're just going to do this together a little bit by little bit. And like I said, if you're inside the So Much Talent group, that's even better because you get to ask questions along the way. In between our live sessions, you get to ask questions. Somebody's going to always show up and answer you. So don't ever feel like you're out there by yourself. So Much Talent group is on Facebook, and it's comprised of people from beginner, all the way up to pro or still growing. Let me say it that way, because even the advanced are still learning some things. And so there are people in the group that's just in there just to watch and follow along and support everybody else. So you wouldn't be by yourself. So go ahead and grab your scissors, and I will start by telling you how I like to take my pattern apart. Now, I'm going to try to keep up with the notes. All right. You good? Not sewing like it's happening over here. I was wondering about you, Zena, but we'll catch up. Yeah. I know you're pretty quiet there. You've been on my mind the last couple of days, so I'll catch up with you. I will join the Facebook group too. Okay, awesome. Gwen, we would love to have you over there. All right, so first of all, I like to always have me paper and pencil, paper and pen or paper and pencil. Better with the pencil, it doesn't matter. And I usually like to have my calculator because even though my measurements pretty much stay around the same area, they do fluctuate, but I still like to take my measurements. All right. So I'm going to get my calculator here. All right, so I like to keep that handy. And because you're going to do some measurements now, and you're going to do some math, and you don't have to try to figure it out in your head, okay? All right, so got that, got your paper, your pencil, got your calculator, going to need your tape measure. All right, you might even need your 6-inch ruler or your little hem gauge guide. And the reason why I like it because it's good to measure in ½ inch, 3/4 inch, 5/8 inch. All right. Hey, Diana. Good, good, good. You said stand to log in on Yardstream. You trying to log in on Yardstream? Did you follow the link in the So Much Talent group? Yeah, if you follow that link, it should let you request to come in as a guest. All right, so but we'll be here if you get it figured out. I'll be glad to bring you up. Okay. All right, so yeah, if you have questions, let me see if I'm actually able to post the link here. Hang on. Let me see. How can I make a comment? Um, I'm trying to see. Okay, post a comment. Okay, so I just posted the link here. So hopefully, okay. So see if you can tap on that link and see if it'll bring you up. So if you have like, you might want me to see something. You might want me to see what you're working on or where you're stuck at, and I can try to help you the best that I can. All right. When y'all see me, do you see me in a little box or is it showing in a bigger screen? I'm not sure how it's showing up. All right. So hopefully I can see you all. All right. So some of the other things that might be beneficial to have is a 18-inch ruler. All right. So you can measure length, cut things off, shorten things, lengthen things. You might want to also have a design curve ruler or style and design ruler. So this is good for measuring around curves, like for your hips or your armhole when you have to true stuff up or you have to grade between the sizes. This is good for that. All right. If you don't have that now, don't feel bad. You don't have to have it. We show you how to get around that. Okay. But those are some good tools to have. All right. Facebook has me in a little box. Are you able to change your screen around? Maybe you can turn your phone around, or I don't know, or slide it around on Facebook. I'm not sure, but sorry about that. But yeah, if not, Diana says I'm on the big screen. She's on YouTube, so you might have to come on YouTube so you can see me a little bit bigger. All right. So, Alethia, I think it was on Instagram this morning, said that this thing had 16 pieces, right? 16. So it is true. We're going to need all 16 pieces. So all 16 pieces, let me just break it down for you. 16 pieces consist of the front, which is right here in the front, the middle front, and then there's the side front. So there's 3 different front pieces: the center front, the side front, and the center front, and I'm sorry, yeah, the middle front, the fronts, sorry, the front, the middle front, and then the side front. And it's going to be the same for the back, the middle back, and then the side back. All right. Then you have the flaps. Then you have the yoke up here, the yoke front and the yoke back. You have the collar. You have the facings. And then you have the front hem band, the back hem band. You've got the sleeve itself. The continuous loop is for measuring out the buttonholes. Then you have the cuff for the sleeve. Then you have the pocket facing, let's see, front B, which is the pants. All right, so you got front B, you got the pocket for B, you got the side front and pocket B. It's got a fly front. It's almost like a jean pant. So you got all that going on. You got the fly front, the right fly, the left fly, the back of pants B, the back pocket. You've got the carriers, and you got the right waistband, left waistband, and then you've got the back waistband. So All of these pieces are needed. All right. So please don't let that scare y'all. Okay. Please don't let that scare y'all. Yeah, I know it's a lot of pieces, but we're gonna take this a little bit at a time, okay? We're gonna take it step by step. All right, so make sure you just pull your pattern pieces out right now. So take a deep breath. We got this. All right, so I know a lot of y'all like to tediously cut around, and make sure you grab your paper scissors. I didn't say that. So outside of your pattern, your rulers, your tape measure, your pen and paper, you're gonna need either your rotary cutter or your paper scissors. All right. Make sure you use a rotary cutter that's kind of dull that you don't use, because you don't want to use your good rotary cutters for this. All right. But I know some of you like to tediously cut around the fine line. All right. You don't have to do that. It saves time. You can do that later when you're in the measuring part and you're doing the quick to fit and stuff like that. But for right now, you want to just get these pieces apart. All right. So you got a lot to get apart. So let's go ahead, and if you haven't already done that, I'm using my rotary cutter and I'm just cutting around all the pieces. Now make sure you look at this real good so you don't cut into another piece. All right. If by chance you do, make sure you have some tape handy. All right. You in? All right. And here, let me change my screen to a little bit, my layout. All right. So, okay. Uh-oh. I didn't want to invite guests. Hang on. How do I get you in, Diamond? I think it says banned from the studio, kicked from the studio. I want to do either one of those. It's saying invite you. Oh, why is it doing that? Here, ask to come. Send a request again, Diamond, because for Diana, because for some reason it wouldn't let me let you in. All right. I'm watching. All right. So what I mean by cutting around it, see, I'm not cutting meticulously around the line. Okay, we'll get that. All right. So I'm not sure why it's not showing you right now. So now, all of these pieces are sized, so you won't be using every single one of these. Now there's 16 pieces for you to put together, but there's more than 16 pieces in this envelope. Okay. Try it on your laptop. Okay. There's more than 16 pieces in this envelope because there's several sleeve pieces. So make sure you cut the one for your size. So let's put a pause in the paper and go back to the envelope. Okay, so this is where I want to go, because you need to know what size to cut. All right, so we're going to go to the back of the envelope, and the back of the envelope has the sizes for you, and it also has the finished measurements. So let's start here, because we need to know exactly what size. You don't want it too big. You want to try to get as close to your size and your liking as possible. All right. So there's a couple of things, and I might not be able to span this out so you can see it. So I'm going to try to pull this up a little bit closer so you can see what I'm showing you. All right. So at the very top, you have your measurements right here. Okay. So we're going to be referring to that. And then you're going to also be referring to the measurements down at the bottom, your finished measurements. All right. The difference between these measurements up here and these measurements, these measurements here is what we call ease. All right. So that's the amount of room that they're allowing in this garment. All right. So take, for instance, let's look at size 8. All right. So size 8, it says for the bust. Let's just take the bust for example. The bust, it says you should be a size. You should measure. Your body should measure 31.5 inches when you take this measurement, and then the finished measurement for bust A, which is the top, it measures 35. All right. So right there, we see that there is 3.5 inches of ease in this top. All right. So depends on how you like your top, and that's with it buttoned up. Okay. It's going to have 3 inches of room to move in. So if you like yours a little bit more fitted, then you might want to consider, maybe going down a size or taking some of the inches out, if that makes sense. If you're not sure, go with your size, and then we can make the adjustments in later in the tissue fit. All right. So let me know if you have questions. Post your questions there so I can stop and answer your questions. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take my measurements, and let's start. We're gonna start with the top. Okay. And we'll focus on one thing at a time. We'll start working on the top. So for the top, hold on. So the top itself has 16 pieces, y'all. My bad. The top itself by itself has 16 pieces. And the pants has let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The pants itself has 10 pieces. All right, so you want to get all of those 16 pieces for the top. But so let's focus on the size, gathering that up, okay? All right. So I'm going to take my measurements, and this is why I brought my pad here, because I need to know how much, what size to cut out for me, okay? All right, let's see if we can get this now. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see if we can get this. All right.
Amy?
Yeah.
I don't know, my camera's not working. I don't know what I did. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You probably just have to click on, let's see, tap on your screen, and or either right click on your screen and see if it gives you the option to toggle your screen. I can hear you though.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
All right. All right. So if you do get it on, go ahead and come on live.
Okay.
All right. So this is Miss Diana. Y'all say hello to Miss Diana.
Hey.
All right. So right now I'm just going to take the basic measurements that it's asking for. Okay. So the general measurements is your bust, your waist, your hip, and then the back waist length. All right. So the back waist length is from the base of your neck to your waist. So I'm just going to take those to help me guide me to what size I need. That has nothing to do with fitting right now. This is just helping me get the size, okay? So, and for this, I will tell you that if you one that like to wear sports bras, if you plan on wearing a sports bra with this, that's fine. If you have on a sports bra now, but you plan on wearing a regular bra with it, you might want to go real quick and go put on your regular bra and take these measurements. All right, so that way you can get a more accurate measurement, okay? So go ahead and don't pull it tight, just enough. There's no slack in your tape measure, okay? So I'm measuring about 40 3/4. Might as well say 41, all right? I can always take that extra out.
Goofy me, I figured it out.
You figured it out? Okay, awesome.
Hello.
Hey, Diana.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to the stage.
Closed.
Oh my goodness. Look, it took me a while to figure this thing out too, so still trying to figure it out. All right, so let me jot this down real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I'm gonna show you my method of what I usually here, let me start over. 41. We're gonna go with that. All right, so And those of you that follow me in So Much Talent, you've seen me do this before. I like to create me a little chart.
Oh, I did.
Okay, and we're just working with the top right now, okay? So this is the chart that I like to create for myself. All right, wait, I ain't finished filling it out, sorry. The pattern measurements, I know what this means. This is the pattern.
I found me a little chart too.
This is the difference. And this is plus or minus. Okay. This is just a quick little chart. All right. So in that little chart right here, you can see I put, here I go. Is it backwards? No, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. So in this right here, I just put bust, waist, hip, and then from nape, NW is nape to waist, or the back of the neck to the waist. All right. Those are the measurements they are asking on the back of the envelope. And the next one is me. Those are my measurements. In that measurement, you want to include the amount of ease. All right. And so remember, I told you the amount of ease on at least on the bust there is 3.5 inches. So you want to add 3.5 inches to your measurement that you take right there. Then right here, you want to add the pattern measurement. Yeah, you want to add the pattern measurement right here. That's what's at the top of the envelope. All right. No, actually, that's the ease. You want to include the ease in that. All right. And then the difference right here is the difference between your measurement and what the pattern says. And then you want to add the difference right here. So whatever it is, let's do this step by step. So are y'all with me so far?
Yep.
Make your chart that says me, pattern, difference, and then plus or minus. And then create you 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal rows. And label those bust, waist, hip, nape, waist, or neck to waist. Yeah, I don't have 2 cameras, so I can show y'all this while I'm doing it. All right, so that's 39.5. So I'm gonna write 39 and a half. Just a minute ago, I said 41, didn't I? How did I get 31.5? I just shrunk about an inch.
Beautiful.
Now I'm at 40. Yeah, look, I need to stay on here if I'm gonna shrink. All right, so I wrote 40 for my bust, and you want to do your true waist. Now, don't be cheating and sucking in now, y'all. Make sure you just. Now, this too is where you might want to. It'll be a little bit different if you plan on wearing Spanx or something like that that suck you in. I call them sucker uppers. But you want to do your true waist measurement, and if you're not sure where that is, just bend to the left or to the right so you can feel that indent. Because your waist is not necessarily where your belly button is. And you want to take that measurement. Mine measures 37.5. I kind of told a story. I'm taking 2 measurements. I'll tell you what I'm doing in just a second because I don't want to throw y'all off. All right. And now, when you take your hip measurement, you want to stand straight, not with your legs apart. Okay. And you want to take the fullest part of your hip. I don't know if you can see me, but you want to take the fullest part of your hip and measure around there. If you got on some baggy pants or whatnot, you might want to do this with like some leggings, or if you're home by yourself, do them in your underwear so you can get a more accurate measurement. All right, my hip's 46.5. But now write down your true measurements. I'll tell you when to add in your the ease, okay? And then my neck to waist is usually like 17, 16.5, 17. So you want to measure from that fall of the neck right back there, right where that neck bends is where you want to start. All right, and I think I got my tape measure straight. And you want to stand straight and erect and measure to your waist. That's that back waist length.
I
Okay.
took a piece of masking tape,
Uh-huh.
put it on the end, taped it to my neck, and then put it back there.
Okay, that's a good tip. I wouldn't have thought to do that, but that makes sense because then that way you can make sure you get it right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so mine is 16 and a half. All right. So we don't have to add anything onto the nape waist length, but we do need to add ease into the bust and the waist and the hip area. Okay. So now going back to the pattern, remember I told you the measurements at the top. This is generally what people look at, and then they go straight from that and figure I'm gonna go right into um, cutting it out. But you still got to make sure it fit you in different areas.
Yep.
So
Let me get my envelope.
my bust is 40, and it falls into um, let's see, it falls into a size 18, and then the 18 at the finished measurement is 43 and a half. So that means there's 3.5 inches of ease. So I need to add 3.5 inches to my measurement down here. So whatever your measurement is, add 3.5 inches to it. Okay.
I'll do your chart.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find my pencil. I'll rewrite it down.
All right. So mine is 40, just like the pattern, and it's 3.5 inches. So I'm pretty good there. So basically a true 18 there. I don't need to make any adjustments there. But if you are different in any area, say like if you maybe you came up a size 43, all right, you're in between sizes. All right. You still need to add 3.5 inches to that 43, so which will make it 46 and a half, right? So basically, you're going to be in between a size 20 and a 22. So in this case, it depends on how much ease you want it. If you like a little bit of room, then go up to the next size, which is only about an inch. Okay. If you like it a little bit more fitted, if you want less than the 3.5 inches, then go down to the previous size, which would be the size 20. Otherwise, you can cut the 22 out and just take it out in a deeper seam, if that makes sense. Just take a bigger seam allowance than 5/8 of an inch, and that'll help you. Now, for every inch, your seam allowance is 1/4 of an inch. All right. So, and the reason why that is because you got 4 seams, right? You got a right. Well, in this case, you got multiple seams, but we generally only take the side seams in or out. So you got a front, left, back, right back. So there's 4 seams, right? So you divide 1 inch into 4, and that's 1/4 of an inch. So 1/4 of an inch will give you, if you were an inch more than what this pattern is saying, then all you need to do is take 1/4 of an inch. Just that little bit will give you what you need, right? All right. So I hope that makes sense.
Yep.
All right. So now let's go to the waist. The waist, my waist is 37 and a half. So that puts me being too big, bigger than what I need to be. So the waist on here on top A is 39 for the 22. Now
24.
For 22 is 39. What are you?
Me? In the
Yeah.
West?
Oh, what were you saying?
No, you said 39. That's a 24. My,
I'm looking at the finished measurement.
Oh, finished. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'm looking at the finished measurement, and for the waist A, it is a 39. Yeah.
I'm 35 and a half.
Okay. So So my waist is 37 and a half. If I add 2 inches to that, that's 39 and a half. So really, I do need that 22 in the waist. And I feel like that's going to be big. But the size 20 is a 37. All right. So I might be able to do the 37 because usually your waist fits you a little bit more snug. Now, what I can do is, again, that's about an inch and a half. Excuse me.
Side seams.
Yeah, just take up the seam allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the 22. Now, my hips, 46 and a half. That's a whole different story. Now, I'm with my top, I'm not so much concerned about the hip. And the reason being because if you look at the top is a flared top.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be fitted on my hip. So if I do the 22, I'm going to be good. However, my pants is going to be a different story. All right. So let's see. On my pants, it says 46 and a half. So it's still a 22 on the pants. So for my hips, I'm going to do the 22. So for my bust, 18. And then I'm going to have to grade out to the size 22. All right. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right. So if y'all have questions, don't forget, let me know. I need to make sure I'm not missing comments, y'all. All right. All right. So has everybody figured out their measurements, the size yet?
Yep.
All right. So, and I did that because I had to pause because there are certain pieces that are multiplying it. Like there's different, there's a sleeve for each size. Like this is the sleeve for size 10 to 14. So I need to find a sleeve for my size, for size 18, because I'm cutting 18 for my upper bodice. Okay. So whatever your upper bodice, your bust measurement, that's the measurement that you need for your sleeve. Okay. Now, if you have issues with your arms, like bigger arms or whatnot, you might want to consider maybe doing a bigger size for that. Or either we can make the adjustments to your sleeve itself. All right. All right. So go ahead and cut out your pattern that you need. There's a lot of sleeves. All right. So, you had a question?
I just laughed because yeah, it is.
Now, what fabric are you using, Diana?
Right now, I cut it out of muslin just to make sure.
Okay.
I don't want to mess up the fabric, and then I'm like, oh my god, it didn't work.
Right,
So
right.
I got everything cut out and interfacing and marking all the little marks, the dots and stuff.
Now, do you interface your muslin?
In this case, I am. Normally, I don't.
You going to make sure it's all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally, I don't. And I pretty much went with the sizing. I went with my underbust. I mean, upper.
All right. So let's talk about that because that can make a difference. Because you obviously, your body. So a lot of times the reasons why a person will go with the upper bust as opposed to the full bust is if there's a big difference in this area and this area. So like if you're full busted or you're the opposite, if you have small bust, then whatever this is, because you might be full chest, you might have a broad back or whatnot, but you might not have much chest. Or the opposite, you might have a whole lot of tissue, but you're real small here. So it is good. I'm glad you brought that up. It's good to go with the upper bust, and then you make what they call the full bust adjustment.
Right.
All right. So your reason, you want to explain why you decided to go with that?
Well, for me, there was like a 4-inch difference. I'm
Okay.
like 35 on the high and 39 and a half on the full.
Okay.
So for shoulder and neck fitting, I went with the upper. So it
Okay.
don't fall off my shoulders and stuff like that. Because normally what I have to do when I don't do that is take out on the shoulder to pull it back up where it's supposed to be.
Right.
Make sure, so I went with the upper.
Okay, so that was a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because there might be other people that's dealing with that. Like we got some newbies in here.
Mhm.
I don't know if Gwen is still on here. Trying to get her to go ahead and cut her fabric out, her pattern out. um,
Impressive.
yeah. So this pattern is not technically a newbie pattern, but as I was explaining to her, we're sewing along, and there you get plenty of help inside the Facebook group
Hmm.
to be able to help along the way. It can be frustrating, so let me just tell y'all that. But if you want to get in here and get it done, listen, we can help. You still with me, Gwen? I see you.
Take a break because I took a
Right.
break.
You know, my mom used to say, walk away. She'd say,
Yep.
walk away and then, get a little light on the subject. After you take a breather, then come back to it.
Yeah, I took a break yesterday and the day before, and I made my husband a snuggler.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He,
Oh,
and then I'm back to it today.
oh, wow. It helps to take a break. I like those. I like to find little small projects to do. I did promise that I would show you all my loungewear that I did for my latest Make Nine project. So can you all see that?
Hmm.
All right. So you say yes, ma'am. All right. So this is my robe, and I did it short like the romper because I made the romper, not the jumpsuit. And y'all try to get fancy with it. It's just pinned up here because obviously she ain't got no legs, y'all.
Yeah.
But I love it. I wish if I had more fabric, I would have actually added cuffs with a bias binding on the cuff, but I didn't have the cuff enough fabric. So when I tell you this was like zero waste fabric, this was zero. Y'all see me? Oh,
Excuse me,
there we
Mom. I'll be right back. That's my husband hollering.
go. Okay. So this is literally like zero waste fabric. Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate it. Yeah, I added piping around the edging of it. It doesn't call for piping. This basically it's literally very easy sew. Like you don't have any buttons, you don't have any zippers. It's just the interfacing in it. And I only added the piping because I wanted it. You don't have to add piping to yours. Why am I disappearing? Oh, there I am. I moved it over too much. All right. So, but yeah, it's a lightweight knit. And the other thing that I did, I had to piece together my band for my belt because again, the way it was cut, I didn't have enough for a long band like I wanted it. Uh, and then the other thing I did was I made my belt loops out of my fabric,
Mm-hmm.
and I made them a little bit wider, and I stitched them on. I'm not even sure if it asked for belt loops. I'm sure it did, but there's different ways that you can do the belt loop. And for me, on this pattern, I'll show you what pattern I used. Um, I didn't think it was really necessary to add the elastic in the neckline. Maybe for some it was, but for me, I didn't see the difference because I didn't have to pull anything much. If anything, it acted as a stabilizer in there. But it came together really easy. You just step into it.
Cute.
Um, yeah, I really like it. So I have to share and show how it looks on. But I would definitely be making more of this. Um, 'Cause I needed a lighter robe for the summertime. I had that old big fuzzy robe for the winter, but I needed a light one for the summer.
Comfort.
Yeah. So that pattern, that was this pattern, McCall 8245. So that was my latest Make Nine project, and that was my goal was to make me loungewear, and I achieved that goal.
Hey.
All right, so you slowly sewing knits. You pulled out your 25-year-old serger and had it serviced. Good for you. It still hums like it was new. Yeah,
Girl, keep that old stuff.
exactly. I have several.
I
Right.
my little singer surgery, they don't even sell the needles no more for it. So I
Oh,
had
really?
ordered something off of sewing parts online.
Okay. Yeah,
They
that's a good resource.
discontinued.
Yeah. Sewing parts online is a good resource for like old manuals and things like that.
My little surgeon, she's very old, but I'm never gonna get rid. That's her right there.
Okay. Okay.
And I
Got
have
it.
old Bernina Virtuoso 160. I put her on that line
160.
too.
Uh,
160 Virtuoso 160. She's been serviced and she's put over there up.
look, long as you keep them serviced, they run good.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I got to get my Juki service. I think I threw a fit when she got sick because I didn't know what to do. I had to go out real quick. This was about 3 weeks ago and get a surgeon. Just go up to Joanne's and pick up one real quick because I had a project I had to finish like within a couple of hours. And she just decided I'm on my last leg.
I was gonna beat up some movers because we recently moved here to Vegas, and
Uh-huh.
we were moving from Chicago to here. I kept telling them about my Bernina.
Uh-huh.
It's a B 590. She embroiders and everything, and I told them this thing costs as much as a car. Please pack
Yeah.
my machine carefully. They stuck
Right.
it in a box on top, didn't package it, and turned the box upside down.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna beat some movers up.
Oh my goodness. So did it bend your thread guide?
No, I took it. I found a service place, took it in, and had it serviced because I was ready to send them the bill.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad you didn't have to go to jail.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because I kept saying this thing is not cheap. This thing's not cheap.
Yeah, Bernina is a good machine. Gwen says Bernina's good. She has the Elna. Now, I had a Elna, Gwen, not a Sturger, but a regular sewing machine. But I was doing some last minute sewing. I took it with me to a fashion show and it flipped off the table and busted. I was so upset because it was
Oh,
an electric. It was the heirloom, the Elna heirloom. I was so upset.
I had an Elna that belonged to my grandmother in the cabinet.
Oh,
I had to sell it when we came here.
oh, that hurt.
Yes. And you were talking about fabric earlier, and
Uh-huh.
I put myself on punishment
Uh,
because when we moved here, like I say, from Chicago to Vegas, I
uh-huh.
literally filled up two
You did
cars, two cars, 4 loads.
for your fabric by itself? No,
Yes.
no way.
So much so, a friend of mine that we work with, he was like, his clients, he ain't got to go to the store. He's just setting up his basement for his own little fabric shop. That's why I'm on punishment.
Oh, I can see why you on punishment. No, it wasn't that bad. For a
But I'm
carload?
finding this sad part is living here in Vegas, they
Mm-hmm.
don't have good fabric stores.
Really?
No,
You would think so.
no. You got to
I
go to
mean,
LA, and I'm not traveling 4 miles, 4 hours to go fabric shop.
oh wow, you would think so with like all the show costumes and things like that, all the fancy garments and stuff.
I haven't found I found one like fashion fabric place
Mm-hmm.
in Joann's.
Oh,
That's and
wow.
Joann's here doesn't really have a lot.
That's sad. Yeah, Joanne's don't have a lot anywhere, really.
Mm.
Hey, Vicky, thank you for coming in.
I miss my rainbow fabrics in Chicago. Those at Frocktails. Go
Yeah.
to Rainbow Fabrics and Textile.
Oh, wow. I've heard of rainbow fabric.
They ship.
Oh, do they?
Yes, I
Okay.
called back and asked. They ship.
Now, I hate the fact that Fine Fabrics, and I'm here, I'm not in Atlanta, but I'm 2 hours away. And Fine Fabrics is the go-to place uh, close by me. But they don't, well, they do ship, but they don't have an online presence. Like you can't shop online.
Well, I guess I have to call my brother because he's there.
Is it?
Him and his wife. They're gonna have to go fabric shopping for me.
Now you're a fabric punishment, man.
When I need it.
Oh, okay. When you need it. All right. Big wink.
Win. Wink, wink.
Right.
Well, the good thing about here is it's helping my punishment.
It's helping your punishment.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully I'm helping because I've got a lot of people started on fasting fabric. Some folks, like we every year, January, we do a stash busting fast. You probably heard me talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But some folks are still fasting past January. And I do hear some folks in the community, they're starting to fast as well, trying to sew more from their stash, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I started sewing for my little great niece who just turned 9. She's gonna
Uh,
be my person.
she's going to be your muse.
Yeah. She did it. I'm trying to teach her.
Oh, wow. All right, y'all. So I done found every sleeve size but the one I need. So guess what? There's 2 folded papers in here. I know, I'm sure you already found that out, Diane.
Mm-hmm.
So, and where did mine go? Like, I try to call out the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right now I have 1 and 4, but I still haven't found my size yet. Like I need an 18. That's a 10. I've got everything but what I need. So most of this I can actually put away.
I'm noticing that like on what am I looking at? Pattern 16 itself, it says 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, all on one piece.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh,
maybe it's a combination piece.
I hate when patterns jump like it has a 12 and then maybe a 20.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. I
It's
mean,
like
I know that's a big gap, but and I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm talking about.
mhm. Things too far apart and you got to pull the whole pattern apart to find it.
Right. Right. But this is the most tedious part, trying to find your part. Now, I like the patterns when they're done like this because it makes it easy, but then you have to weed through all the pattern pieces.
Yeah.
I like them, I think, more when you have to grade them out. Um, let's see.
I trace my patterns because I don't, they cost too much.
You trace yours?
I trace my patterns because they cost too much.
Well, you know what? If you pay regular price for them, or even if you know you get them like $7.99, whatever the case may be, I can see that. But when I usually, but if I pay like $1.99 for them, now they $2.99. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and cut them out. You know, because more than likely, unless I actually once I cut it for my size and do the fit measurements and everything, then I
Mm-hmm.
pretty much got the size I want. I don't need the rest of it.
True. True that. I got some, they falling apart. They so old patterns. I keep my old school ones.
Do you ever do the interfacing on the back of them to preserve them?
I tried that.
Uh,
Sometimes I did it. I was doing it.
okay.
Yeah.
Like
Because they classics at this point.
I've literally cut nothing out but this up to size 16. So all that cutting I cut, I should have been paying attention. Because what I was thinking was maybe there's one pattern folded for the top and then one for the pants, but this was
All over.
all top up to side. Unless, oh
Now, the pants were one big
no, let me
by
tell you what
itself.
I did. Silly me. You know why I'm cutting up to 16? Because that's what size I have. I have up to 16.
Oh, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, no.
Oh, I didn't pay that no attention, y'all.
Oh my. You didn't get the multi?
I did. And
What's
I want to say, I
what's
guess
the
I was thinking I was going to do the 16. I guess that's what
Oh,
I
you
thought.
was the other group. Oh, wow.
I guess that's what I thought.
You
Let me
didn't get
see.
the 18 to 26.
I do, but let me see because there's a usually a 2-inch difference between the sizes, so I might be able to just add in. I'm gonna create more work for myself, but I'm gonna have to add in. So when that happens,
Mm-hmm.
we have to curve and bend. No pun intended. All right, so the 16, I already know my 16. So this is where this chart is going to come in handy now, because now I need to figure out how much I need to add in to get what I need. All right. So
Slide.
yeah, so the 18 was pretty much spot on. So now I'm going to have to add in. All right. Or either I'm going to go get a pattern, one or two, but they're not on sale right now. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. All right. So now the pattern, let's see, a size 16, the bust is a 38. All right. So let me see. I'm just going to add the ease in and figure it out from there. All right. So there's a 3.5 inch ease from the bust and the waist. So for my bust and waist, I'm at a 43.5. That's my finished measurement of what I need. And then for my waist, I need a 39.5. So I'm going by the 16. The 16's finished measurement is bust 41.5. And the waist is
33.
33. 33. So guess what? My bust is 33 finished. What I need is 43.5. The finish for 16 is 41.5. So that's a 2-inch difference. So I need to add in a 1/2 inch seam allowance at the bust area right in here. There's a 6-inch difference, actually 6.5 inch difference between the two. Generally, they ask you not to add more than 2 inches in. I know, right? Lynn, terrible. I'm a terrible teacher. I didn't pay that no attention. All right, so 6.5 divided by 4. Now, I might be able to spread this out in the seam, like the middle seam and the side seam, the side front. I might be able to spread this extra out through there.
Back off the seams from 5/8 to.
Right. Because there's more seams to work with. Generally, you just work with the sides. If I was just to do the sides and divide that 6.5 by 4, then I would, no, that ain't right. The devil is a lie. It said I need to add 4.5 inches back to each seam. All right. So that means an inch and 5/8 is what I need to add. So if I look at this line drawing, I have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 more seams that I can actually add to. Okay. So wait a minute. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Actually 12 seams that I can work with. All right, seam allowances. So if I divide 6.5 divided by 12, it says about a half, a little over a half. I think if I do a half, I'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So what that means, how did I get 12 inches? Where did I get that from? Because there's multiple seams in the top. Remember, there's a middle seam and then there's a side seam. Okay. So I just counted the 2 seams here, the seams here, and the same in the back. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So there's 6 seam allowances right there. But each seam allowance, there's a front and a back. There's 2 seams that you're putting together. So I'm distributing this measurement between both of those pieces that I'm putting together at each seam point. I hope that makes sense. So instead of 6, there's 12. I'm dividing it by 12. All right. Now, if I just want to not do the 12 and I just want to maybe do most of my what I need is right here in the front, because I got a little belly right there. So maybe I can eliminate the back seams and I can just do 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I did it between the 4, that means I only need to divide that by 8. Hope that makes sense.
Divided by 8.
So 6.5 divided by 8. I know Gwen say, Lord, you think I'm supposed to learn all this? Sorry,
That's
Gwen.
8.125. What's that in
Uh-huh.
decimal?
That's close to, I can either do 7/8 or I can do because it's close to 8.75, it's almost 7/8 of an inch. Point 875 is 7/8. So I can do 7/8 or I can do 3/4, which is 75. 0.75. So it's kind of in between
8.125.
there. Yeah. Kind of in between there. Hey Mo, how art thou? So I gotta decide because now remember this is 5/8 inch seam allowance that I'm adding in, right? Well, actually, I'm adding in half inches on each one. So there's already 5/8 of an inch factored into the side seams. Well, actually, into all of the seams. So if I took less than 5/8 of a seam allowance, I probably could get what I need.
It's enough seams.
Yeah. If I just sewed the very bare minimum seam allowance, I could probably not even have to add anything in here. Truth
Yeah.
be told. Uh, but guess what? I ain't gonna play with it.
I
Ain't
got
gonna
a
play.
question or a tip.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anybody use the flex pins?
I've seen a lot of people use them. I don't, but I've seen a lot of people in the community use them.
They're great because you can mark on your
Mm-hmm.
fabric. And I've done it in white on a white garment.
Uh-huh.
And when you press it, it goes away. No mark.
Oh,
No
now
mark.
I might need to use those. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you remember the disappearing ink pens and the water soluble, the blue and the purple.
They
Well,
don't.
they not blue and purple no more like they used to.
Mm-mm.
Like you used to could set heat to the purple and it would disappear. Now you put heat to it and look at you like, ha ha,
Yep.
I ain't
That's why
going nowhere.
I started using these because they definitely I was marking something, forgot,
Uh-huh.
pressed it, and I'm like, what happened to my marking?
Oh,
That's how I found out.
okay. So
So
where did
now
you
I
find yours?
use these.
Where'd you find yours?
Walmart, anybody. They come a whole pack, all different colors.
Walmart?
Hmm.
In like the craft section?
No, like over in pens and pencils,
In this in pens and pencils.
stationery.
See, I'm looking in the wrong place. I'm thinking I can find them with the fabrics and stuff, even in quilting, and I couldn't find them. Like
Stationery.
Joann's don't carry them, I don't think.
No,
Every
you
time I've
in the
gone in there, I've never
stationery
seen
part.
them.
I
Huh.
do stationery, and I ever since white is hard to mark on because you don't
Uh-huh.
want to mess it up. So
Okay.
when I was making I made myself a white tuxedo,
Okay.
and I used the yellow one.
Oh.
And when I pressed it, well, any color really, and you press it, it go right away.
Okay.
So
Okay. I have to try this out.
I'm marking the circles and stuff now on mine, and
Okay.
I'm using this pink
Okay.
so I can see. I'm doing the tailor tack, but then I'm also using this because
Mhm.
sometimes the thread will come out.
So let's talk about the Tiller set because I just did one the other day, and I actually actually on the swap it outfit that I'm doing, I had to use Taylor's tack. So that's an old school
Yeah.
technique. So a lot of people don't do that, and it's not necessarily old school. It's more of a couture type technique, but I learned it old school.
Me too.
So and for those of you that might not know what that is, it's like when she's probably, I don't know if there's any probably darts in the pants.
Well, here I can show you because I'm doing it now,
Okay,
and I have my
here,
little
let me see if I
thread.
can make you solo. All right, there we go.
I have just any color thread. Doesn't matter the color of the thread. I have some black right here,
Mhm.
and then here's the circle. Where's the circle?
Like
Here's
your
the
placement
circle.
points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so what I do is I hope you can see what I'm doing. I got a piece of cardboard so it'll
Mhm.
stick through it, and then I just take and stick it in the circle, like so.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pull it to the other side once you
Uh-huh.
get it in there.
Through the fabric, though, right?
Huh?
Through the fabric, right?
Yes. I
Yeah.
have the fabric interface and all of that. Then you
Mhm.
pull it through. Pull it through. Once you get it, a good length of thread, then I cut it.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can get in my camera. I cut it off. So then you have the little piece of thread sticking on the front and back. Then you unpin your section. I hope I'm not being too confusing.
No, you're fine. I was trying to find one, the piece that I did.
Then you could pull the pattern piece off, making sure you don't pull the thread out, and take the two pieces of fabric. I'm trying to find the camera. Two pieces of fabric. Where's the camera? This way.
I know I have a hard time figuring where the camera.
Two pieces of fabric. You pull them open and snip it in between, and then you have your mark. Come on, work with me, because I'm trying to show somebody something that don't want to act right. There we go. Two pieces of fabric. So I don't know if you can see the little teeny, pull it open. Thread right there.
Yeah, I can see it.
Snip it. You snip it, and you now have marked your circle.
Mm-hmm. So instead of putting, especially on like your delicate fabrics and stuff, instead of marking them, because sometimes this markings don't come out all the way. So instead of using the pens and ink on delicate fabrics, this is a technique to mark your darts or mark your placement points with thread running through all layers.
Right.
So you can be able to tack it. So that's why the term tailor's tack.
And so then you have it. This side is marked, and the other side is marked, and you can pull your two pieces apart, and they're both marked.
Mm-hmm. I use because I use crochet thread. I use crochet thread with a lot of my bridal stuff. And let me just say this real quick, Mo. This is Diana. She was asking your name.
Diana from Designs by Diamond.
And Mo said she made her whole tux in high school for a fashion show. But yeah, so the same thing, what you were doing, Diana. You can see that tailor's tag right there.
Yeah.
All right, and then it comes through on the other side. So that way, and I make mine long so they don't do like you were saying. Sometimes they'll jump out. And that tailor's, the crochet thread is a little bit thicker, so and it almost has like a little ridge, so it makes it harder to come out.
Like the doily thread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. But so I hope I didn't confuse anybody with the measurements and stuff that I did, y'all. If everybody's on board, y'all not hiding, running, let me know.
I'm going with it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going with the 16, y'all, but now I need to make sure the back, waist, the length and everything is good. So on the back of my pattern, remember I measured myself 16.5 inches for back waist length. So guess what? The size 16 is 16 3/4 back waist length. So I'm good. I'm not going to worry about that 1/2 inch. I could either, if there's an issue, I could take that out. That's just 1/4 inch. So that's not going to hurt anything. Well, sometimes it can, but in this case, we ain't gonna squabble over a 1/4 inch, right? So the other things that you want to be concerned about with when measuring, and this is after we figured out the pattern and everything, then we get ready to go into tissue fit, is like your shoulder width. Diana was talking about it earlier, the reason why she used her upper bust measurement as opposed to her bust measurement. So that you can make sure that it's not too big and falling off your shoulder. You want to make sure that the top is hitting you in the right spots on your shoulder. So we'll get into that once we get this pattern piece cut out. But now that I figured out what I'm doing, while I'm seeing all these 16s, I can go ahead and get it cut out. So now, Diana, are you one that meticulously cut around your pattern piece when you cut your tissue paper out, or do you just cut around it and do
I
all of
cut
that?
around it. If it's too much, I'll cut it off, and
Oh,
then I press it out, lay it down, cut it out.
uh-huh. Right. So that's me. It's time consuming to try unless you're watching TV and you're not planning on sewing or doing anything, making adjustments, then fine. But I've never been that person.
Now
Yeah.
it's like I don't cut it exact. Well, I leave too some of the tissue because you can use it when altering.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you see me throwing it to the floor, right? Well, y'all don't see that. Y'all don't see me throwing the tissue paper on the floor. But and I like the rotary cutter for this because I can just instead of exerting my wrist energy, motion to cut this out, I can use my rotary cutter to cut around it.
Yeah, because I got to that point. I was like, no, 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 no. Rotary cut this stuff. Save some tissue if you
Right.
need alterations with your mask and tape to
Right.
take this stuff.
All right. So I'm still missing some pieces. So right now I have 16 for the front. That's one. I have 7. I think I now discovered that I need the sleeve 15. I keep tearing up my paper. So I have 14. That's why I say you need to have your tape handy. So does anybody have any questions so far? Remember, this is Q&A also. So if I said something sound weird or crazy, let me know. Or if I haven't addressed something yet, let me know. A lot of people have already made this. Mo, are you sewing along with this or are you watching? Just supporting. Okay, so I can get rid of 14. So I have 2. So now I got 1, 2. That's the fly front for the pins. I don't need that right now.
Girl, I folded that up so fast. I got finished with the jacket. I was like, no, no.
Oh my God. Are you planning on sewing it though?
I don't like that below the waist stuff though.
Oh, is it below? Okay, so let's read
Yeah.
the description. Does it have a description? No.
It says 9 inches below the normal waist.
Oh, wow.
Them hip huggers, old school term.
Okay. I don't know. I might can get with that, but I don't know how much of my belly gonna hang out, but I might can get with the hip hugger.
Well, I got to relearn myself anyway because I lost weight
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. See, that's why I have to measure myself every time. Now, I just took my measurements for the robe and stuff, but I do have to each time I make something because my weight does fluctuate. So I have to take my measurements often.
I saved my old ones to compare. Don't know why.
Well, mine, I write them down on the cutting board, so they're there. What I normally do is I date them.
Yeah.
So, like and compare.
Yeah. I found some 2017 or somewhere around there. I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been
So,
doing it since I was 12, 13. My father taught me.
so do you find that your weight fluctuates between the seasons? Like, are you on the upper end of your weight in the wintertime, or how does that work?
Well, since we moved here, I've lost. And I think it's because I eat differently and I drink a whole lot of water, more
Okay.
water than anything.
Okay.
When we were in Chicago, we ordered out a whole lot and I hardly drank water.
Okay.
So we don't order out because kind of don't like the food. And
How long have you been in Vegas?
this is a year and about a year and some 3 months.
Is this a permanent stay?
Oh yeah, girl, no more.
No more.
Next time they move me, they're gonna be laying me down.
Oh no. Yeah. Are you missing Chicago right about now with all the excitement going on?
I wish I had known about that frock tail when we lived there.
Oh, really?
I would have went.
Oh
And
my
I didn't
goodness.
know much about it.
But I think this is the first frock tail that they've had in Chicago.
Um,
At least that I'm aware of. And they really went way out and they've done it up. So I know it's gonna be nice. So
well,
I'm looking, y'all. I feel like it's like the award show or the Met Gala. You know how you looking to
sounds
see
like it.
the fashions? That's what it feels like.
It sounds like it. I called the, like I said, the person that I filled his car up 3 times with fabric.
Uh,
Well, I told him about it because he's a tailor and he
okay.
does a lot of stuff. And I told him, check it out. Make you something to check it out.
Oh yeah,
You know.
it's gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to it. They should be showing some pictures tonight at some point because they have the this is kind of like the pre-show. They have the white party tonight where they're on the boat. They're
Ooh,
doing a night cruise, all white night cruise. And
nice.
so yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of the clothes.
When it comes my way, I'll definitely go.
We just had one here in Atlanta, but I didn't go. So I don't know. Mo, did you go to the one in Atlanta? Aronica, um, Aronica. They just they did that one just recently. That was no, that wasn't the last one. The last one was Florida Frock Tales.
Nice.
To get that
So how
straight.
long has this event been happening?
Frock Tales has been going on at least I believe since 2018 because when I did my first sewing retreat, they were talking about frock tails then. And so I kind of based my sewing retreat on frock tails because I would have everybody come make their garments and wear it the night of the meet and greet. So it's kind of based on the frock tails that they started over in the European UK. I was going to say European over in UK.
Is that when the fascinator thing was happening?
Uh huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and I think in Melbourne was the very first one, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. I did a little expose on it. Um, but that was the first I heard of it. Our first retreat, 2018.
Hmm.
But I didn't call ours frock tails. But we had a lot of fun though.
Sounds like it.
Hmm.
For us folks that sew. I'm here in Vegas and all they want to do is make quilts. I ain't into that. It's like,
So now next month is going to be our quilter month.
well,
For those that want to do quilts and learn. Um, if I try to do a challenge for everybody,
mm-hmm.
and we've got a lot of quilters, we've got doll makers, got
Oh,
shoemakers, jewelry makers, hat makers in the group, and so we're gonna focus on quilts next month.
I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to introduce everybody to Miss Diamond.
Okay. I'll be glued to my phone. So excited. I know, right? It's very exciting, and it's so funny. These ladies. Oh,
I
is
mean,
that who you sold for?
this is who I made. This is my little mascot.
Oh,
I
what?
crochet.
Oh my God! Wait, we had to blow her up. Hang on.
She's got her curly hair, gray hair. I make her
Oh,
earrings. I make the earrings.
that is too cute. Now, do you sell her or you
Uh
just
huh.
really? So
Mm-hmm.
tell us about Diamond.
Well, Diamond is one of my brown dowels that I make, custom
Mhm.
crochet brown dowels. And what I do is I make them, but you send me a picture, tell me what you want, hair color, eye color, skin tone, and
Oh,
favorite colors of the person, and I make it. I just finished 2 mascots as well for authors of children's books.
oh wow.
And this is, I said, well, let me make my own little mascot. Her name is Diamond. That's what you
Oh,
see when you go to my page.
oh wow. So
And
this is your business. This is what you do.
yeah, that's why I got so much yarn in here.
Um, so Diana, tell everybody where they can find you. What's your website?
Don't have a website, learning how to do it, but Instagram and Facebook is
Okay.
designs. On Instagram, it's designs underscore by underscore diamond.
Okay.
DIAMON, which is the first three of my first name, last three of my last name.
Okay. Awesome. And
And
you're on
Facebook
Facebook.
is Designs by Diamond.
Designs by Diamond. All right. So y'all heard it here. So a lot of people are selling through Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So that's no difference. I don't know if everybody has a website, but I know a lot of people are selling through those different avenues. But yes, Diana is so cute.
Thank you.
That is so cute. Oh my goodness.
This is Eve. She was the first. This is my first child.
Oh, now she is too cute. I love her lanky legs, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm. And I made her
Oh,
little earrings and yeah, the whole 9 yards.
now do you mind? I know some people don't like talking prices out in public, like negotiate or whatever. But do you have a range for your dolls?
Um, the, well, I'm revamping that because I just did a timer on the last one I made.
Hmm.
So price wise, it's just once I finish working that out, then I can let people know. But this is
Okay.
these two are like 17 inch,
Uh-huh.
and then I have Miss Curly Curly. She's 22.
I'm gonna have to see you for my.
You
I have
see
oh, she is too cute. Oh, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to peep your page.
her?
My daughter, my granddaughter, I call her my Princess Puga. She is about to be 5 years old,
Oh,
and she has dolls, and so I'm gonna have to see you.
this is her. This is my Rastafarian child.
Oh, oh my goodness, those are too cute.
I made her little dress.
I love those. Oh
So
my goodness. Y'all, please be sure to share this out. And if you haven't already done so, thank y'all for being a part tonight. But if you don't mind, hit the like button and share this out. And also, if you're not following this channel, make sure you go ahead and follow and hit the bell so you can get further sew-alongs. This is just part one. We're just going through the tissue fit and talking to you about sizing and everything. But see, you're getting all this other extra stuff too. Get to learn about Diana. And now, Diana, how long have you been a part of So Much Talent?
not that long. I couple of months maybe because what happened is I was just surfing online looking for people that have the same interests as myself,
Uh-huh.
and I found you.
Oh,
And
oh,
then I joined you and a few others.
okay. Well, then I guess I won't be too mad with Facebook.
Oh no,
I don't know.
Instagram,
Something's been
Facebook.
happening with my group page because my group is growing, but it's stuck at my numbers from like 10 years ago.
Ooh.
Like we did a 10K sew day in 2000. Yeah, when did we do that 10K sew day? Um, My stepfather passed the day after we finished that Soke. That was 2009. Was it 2009? Nope, no, it wasn't. Mm, oh my goodness, when was it? Was it 2009? Nope, no, it wasn't. What year we in? 2024.
24.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember now. Maybe 2019. That might have been it.
Hmm.
2019.
I can't
So,
see.
but it's been some time ago though.
You want to take me back down to so I can see you?
Oh, we were enjoying you.
Oh,
We were
right.
enjoying you. You were out there all by yourself.
I saw that. I was like, okay.
I
But
had
yeah,
wasn't
I
even thinking about it.
sewing, crocheting, I sing, I bake cakes. Yeah, I do a little everything. That's like I said, I could do everything but marry you. But these days, you can get the license and do that too.
Right. You so right about that. All right, so let's see. I've got I think I got just about all my pieces. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I mean, how come I got two? Okay, that's another one. Okay, that goes over there. I'm trying to get all the excess that I don't need.
Tell me about
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I got 11 and 14. So I need 8, 9, 10,
15 is a tiny little piece, just so
11,
you know.
13, 15. You say 16 is?
No,
Is that the
15. 15
15
is
is?
a little piece attached to, I forget what number it was.
Is that the carrier piece?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So that's the little that's for the pants, isn't it? Why is it, or is there a belt loop or something on the
I think it's a belt loop according to the I don't know why I
um,
have a belt loop. What is 15?
on the jacket? It was 15 supposed to be a part of the top.
Continue, no, 15. It's a tiny little, what is this number? Yeah, it say 15.
Oh, you know what?
Continuous lap.
I'm thinking that's the. I was thinking it was like the little belt, the thing that measures the buttons.
No.
It's not.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to look at the sheet to see where it goes.
15 continuous lap A. So let's see. Continuous lap A.
Hmm.
Oh, you know where it goes? It
Where?
goes in the sleeve, that little piece, the for the sleeve at the
Oh,
cuff. You know what I'm talking about?
oh yeah.
The little slit in the
Like the band,
sleeve. Yeah, it's a little slit in the sleeve.
the band on the sleeve, like a sleeve
Right,
band.
right. Yeah, it's that little piece that covers that in there. Okay. All right. So
That's little. I know that much. You can miss it.
yeah. That's that piece, like in men's shirts where
Mm-hmm.
the cuff is and it folds. It's
Oh yeah.
that piece. All right, so I need 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16. That's still 7 pieces I gotta cut out, y'all. So see why it's important. Like if you got a lot to do, you can break your projects up. Like you don't have to do everything in one day. So really cutting this out and measuring it, getting it tissue fitted in one setting is takes a lot of time. Of course, I've
Yes.
been talking too, but by the time you navigate and try to find all the pieces you need, it does take quite a bit of time. And if you like me and discovered that you got the wrong size, you probably fold it back up and put it away.
For
Don't
another
do
day.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. So the ones that I don't need, I'm gonna go ahead and get those out of the way. Mimi G and this is this has been done, but she did a good job of showing it again. Like when you want to put your pattern pieces back in the envelope, you can fold them and then press them so it flattens them out.
Crazy me,
But
I fold them back on the way they were folded in the envelope.
look, I can't be that tedious. Look, they get folded like this and hand pressed, y'all. Y'all hear me talk a lot about hand pressing and finger pressing.
Mm-hmm. I put them in there to get them as close as I can and then mash it.
Right, exactly. Exactly. All right, so now I'm on the hunt for 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16.
Ooh, I'm gonna beat him up. Who he takes now?
So right off the cuff, I know it's not this because this the pants right here. And fold that back up.
Mm-hmm. That one giant piece. There was not was did they have one little piece on there? I can't remember.
Well, I guess I better look because I'll be looking for that later. So far I don't see it, but why are there 3 back
Mm-hmm.
front? Okay, so that's 12 to 16, and then I'll put that aside because I'm gonna need that later when I cut the pants out. But right now, I need at least 10 and 13 12, 10, and 13, they're multiple size, so I don't have to worry about that. I can go ahead and cut those out. I don't have to look all over yonder for different
No, I ain't
sizes.
even turned my machine on. It's all this tacking. It's gonna be the project today.
All right. So is everybody getting anything out of this? Is this helping anybody? I hope so. Some people have, like I said, have already sewn this and can lend some expertise in this. Um, Lynn does, for those of you that haven't been watching me talk about this, this is Lynn's pattern. This is what we're sewing along to. Lynn Brannelly's KnowMe 2069. She does have a QR code right here. So if you scan that QR code, it'll take you straight to her YouTube channel, Lynn Wardrobe Sews.
Mm-hmm.
And she does a step-by-step tutorial. So like I said, you don't have to wait on me to finish this. I'm just basically kind of doing a check-in. Here, I'm just kind of wanting to get you started and talk about the different things to look out for because there are people that are just starting out that might have questions and might be intimidated to even pull this out. So I hope that didn't scare you, Miss Gwen, by me getting the wrong pattern.
Take it back and get a new one. Gwen.
Yeah, that's what you do, Gwen. Don't try to do what I just did.
Just
Take
go
back and get the right size. But I'd already committed to cutting it, so it's all good.
Nicely, take it back.
Right. You know, some people would do that. Fold it right on up and say, that's the wrong pattern. I can't, my conscience wouldn't let me do it. All right, let's see. 10. I got 10 and 12. Now I need 8, 13, 8, 9, 13. So this is, all these pieces. You know what? This is a hem band. So I wonder, let me tell you what I'm gonna tell you why I might omit some of these pieces. I don't know if these are add-ons. I have to look at the directions and see, because this works for denim to have a deep hem like that, but for a soft fabric like that, you might not need it. You might, like the band. So I don't know if this is actually a band or it's acting as a facing. It looked like it might be acting as a facing. But then again, it could be something. I have to look at the instructions and see. If it is added on, then of course I'll go ahead and use it. My fabric is on Cara.
Oh, you doing an African print?
Uh-huh. And I should have pulled it out to kept it out to show. Next to the wrong side.
That piece, those pieces are add-on to turn the hem look like.
So it's more of a facing, or is it sewn onto the edge to make it longer?
It's sewn onto the edge, but then turned in. Looks like.
I'm trying to peep into her. Pin.
Back jacket.
Oh, I see what you said. Sewn onto the bottom and then flipped up and then topped it. So it's acting as a facing.
Right.
So,
I guess cover up the raw edges.
So you know what? Then I may not use that piece. That's a step that can be eliminated. But I'll further investigate that as we get into the sewing part of it. Well, actually,
you can see it on the big picture. How it's like on the very side. You can see it on the big picture.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Side.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So, which is a neat concept, but that's perfect for denim because you want it to give it that denim look. Mm-hmm. And that's good too. If you have a fabric that's not the same color, and you want to add a facing to it, it's good for that as well. But I may not do that part for my Aunt Cara. Um, Gwen says I would have politely folded that pattern. No, Gwen, we don't want you to do that. That's what we're trying to avoid. We want you to be able to get into this.
Just put your music on, girl, and come on with it.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
real
Speaking of
action
music, what
movie.
happened to my music? Broke
An
up, cut me
action
off.
movie.
Yeah,
A good action movie.
exactly. So, and then that's usually me. I was binge watching SWAT. I like to watch that,
I
and
like
it got through all 6 seasons of it, and the 7th season is not uploaded yet.
what's the Bridgerton?
I did Bridgerton, and I got to what they only uploaded 3,
I
so I
know.
don't know if they did the 4th one yet.
Haven't seen it.
The 3rd season.
Haven't seen the third season. Haven't seen the new episode yet.
Oh, okay. Right. So let's see. Gwen say I would have folded that pattern piece up and put it back. It is a lot of pieces, Gwen. I will say there's a lot of pieces. I have to say that I might now. Don't tell nobody I said this now. I might want to put this back too.
I know. When I
But all
opened
these
the
pieces.
envelope, you should have seen my. No, I was like 16.
Look, I'm gonna be a trooper since y'all picked this out.
I went along with the program.
You
Now,
went,
I just went along with the program.
so you went along with it. I can't even blame you, huh?
I showed y'all a whole nother pattern.
Look, where's Keithia at? She was on Instagram earlier. What happened?
Mhm.
Is she peeping in? And now, if you're watching on if you and I don't have my other iPad near me, but if you're watching from Facebook, I can't see you. So if you're making comments, that's why. I can only see your comments on Instagram. So I do apologize, and I just realized that I did have this is streaming to the Facebook page, not the group. So I apologize if you making comments or you have questions. But if you want to come on the Facebook, the YouTube side and ask your questions, you can. Um,
Me too, Woven Nap. June 16th. I can't wait. Bridgerton. Woohoo!
what's that?
She said June 16th is the next episode.
Oh, who said that?
Woven Naps.
Oh, okay, I see it. All right, June 16. Why they play like that? Why they make it that long out?
I don't know. You have to set your reminder because you mess around and forget.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least it's on Netflix, though.
You can't go back, but still,
Yeah.
I want to see it all because it's juicy.
But
All great.
I'm glad that what's her name?
Shonda.
No, what's the whisper?
Oh yeah,
She finally finding love.
yeah. Well, she was in love with old boy all along. He just was trying to be like, I don't want that big girl.
But now she cute.
Mm-hmm.
Now she cute.
Kissed and fell in love. Kissed
Uh-huh.
fell in love.
Yeah. Cause she said, kiss me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what?
She's like, I need to have a kiss before I die.
That's a terrible way to feel, right?
Okay.
You think you're gonna die without having love
Never ever
somebody.
been kissed.
Yeah, oh, poor thing.
But she laid it on him.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of what was that? Harlem Nights. Where's your mama? You tell I ain't never coming home.
Oh yeah.
Savannah, was it Savannah? No, Savannah's on Waiting to Exhale. That was her name on. No, Savannah was Whitney Houston character. I don't know. Whatever that girl name was. She made him not want to go back home to his wife.
Okay. She mesmerized his mind.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that she I thought they had already found out. No, only one person knows that she's the ghostwriter. right?
Yeah, her best friend who don't want to be,
Okay.
which is the guy's sister.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the guy's sister.
wow. And the plot thickens.
Yes, that's a
Mm-mm.
good sewing. That's a program to sew too. When it gets juicy, you sew faster.
Right. I don't know. For me, I so slow because I be into it.
When I was working, um, I had this boss, a guy who made me so mad one day that I came home, cut out a pair of pants, and when I got to the crotch area, I sewed real fast and hard.
When you got to the crotch area,
I
what,
sewed real fast and hard.
what you was thinking about that, man?
Yeah. And when I got to work, he made a comment on how oh, those are nice. I'm like, thank you. You were the inspiration.
That's too funny. That is too funny. Oh my goodness. I thought you was gonna tell me he was hurting or something.
Mm-mm. He was. He was in
Oh,
my mind.
in your mind. Oh my goodness. All right, so now I finally got 16, 15, 14. Let's see, 13, 12. I don't need these pieces right here, not just yet. Let's see, I don't need that one either just yet. Where's my, okay, where's my 11? All right, there we go.
This one, pencil.
11, 10. This will probably work out anyway because sometimes this stuff be fitting. Even though I don't know if anybody else experienced this, but I feel like the sizes are still not what they measure out to be. Like I feel like the sizes are off now. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could usually bank on like your sizes being two sizes different than retail. But
Yeah.
now, even with taking measurements and stuff, it just seems like it's just off. Like you literally have to measure the pattern pieces in order to make it right. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that either. I'm really gonna confuse somebody.
We ain't gonna say forget it.
Scratch that from the record, Judge.
You didn't win.
8. All right. So, where's my 7 piece at?
Ooh, 7 is little.
Oh, here it is. Yep. Thank you. 7, 6, 5, 4. I think I probably can do this pattern without having to add anything in and just take smaller seams.
I would.
Because if I just take a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, that's let's see, that's 2/8. So that still leaves me 3/8 of an inch seam allowance left on the rest of the seam. So what did I say? I needed to add an inch and a quarter seam allowance, or inch and
Divide it. What are you doing? Divide it by 12.
I did the 8 because I was just going to increase the front. Here it is right here. In the waist, I needed to add a 1/2 inch to the 8 seams. So I think if I just do, let's see, 0.325 times 4. So if I did a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, that's a 1.30. Let's see, 8 divided by 3. Oh, it's 3.75. 0.375 times 4. That's 1.5 inches. If I just sew a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, that I saved myself added an inch and a half onto my seam allowance.
Yep.
But I needed 6.5. So if I did that in on all 8 seams, 0.375 times 8, that's 3 inches.
You still need another 3?
Yeah. So I still might need to add the half an inch. If I add the half an inch to the size, to the 4 seams, that's 2 inches. So I could still let out the in the front. I mean in the back, because I eliminated adding into the back.
Mm.
So if I go ahead and add the half an inch seam allowance on the sides, and then just use a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance at the waist, from the waist to the hip, I should be fine.
Yeah. You gotta worry. Really, truthfully, the hip is not even in it.
Right. Yeah, but I can go back in and take that up. Hey, Kimmy, how art thou? Hi, Rosalind, how art thou? Thank y'all for coming on this side. All right, so y'all, I'm exhausted.
Hey,
All this pattern piece.
told you.
Ooh, jeez. All
Still
right.
ain't got no interfacing, no nothing.
That's not even cutting the fabric out. But
Pieces. But, sorry, Gwen.
listen, you say what?
Sorry, Gwen.
Listen, I'm sorry, Gwen. Gwen say, get somebody else to do it. It's okay, Gwen. We'll hold your hand. So, anybody else cutting this pattern out? Like, I'm sure it's gonna be really nice. I love the sleeves on it. Yeah, I love the sleeves on it. I love all the detail on it. But you know what? I might as well, since there's the front pieces right in here.
The
Well,
princess it look like it's cut in half.
Well, you know what? Just because it has the seams, that don't mean I have to sew the facing on. I'll see how I feel once I get to the facing part. Okay,
It's gonna be a lot of shortcuts.
Well, see, I look for shortcuts. I honestly do. I do look for shortcuts. Like when we're looking for that size 15. I mean that 15 piece.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like I'm looking for a piece of chicken, box of chicken. But like I'm looking for ways to eliminate. But there really are no other ways, because I think this is going to be it. Now, the only other way you can eliminate is maybe you don't do a band on the sleeve, but I think it's the band on the sleeve that makes it work.
Mm-hmm.
So, you love the pattern. Well, see, Gwen, you need to just go ahead and get on into it. You sound good. What are y'all working on this evening? So we're working on Lynn Brannelly's KnowMe pattern 2069. Right now, I just made it through cutting out the top. Diana has already cut all her pieces out. She's cut the interfacing out. She's over there marking them. But she's doing, oh no, wait a minute. You did more than that, because you cut the muslin.
I cut out the muslin, the interfacing, and now I'm doing the tailor tags.
Okay. Oh, you gonna make it, Kim? Good. All right, so I came on earlier just to talk about how to expedite time by not tracing, like tediously cutting out the pattern pieces. So how many of y'all, like, show hands and put this in the comments. How many of you like meticulously cut around the pattern piece before you sew? Or are you one that cut around it and then you cut the excess off as you sew, cut the fabric off?
Around and cut off.
Yeah, I'm around and cut off. I was gonna say I'm around the way girl, but that don't sound right. That don't sound right. Zena says I have it, but I can't commit to it right now. I understand, Zena. And too many interruptions here for me to participate, but I will follow along when the live streams go up. I thank you so much for always supporting, Zena. Rosalind says I want to make the top. All right, Rosalind, it is 16 committed pieces to this top. There's only one piece, though, that I think you might could eliminate, and that's the hem facing. But other than that, there's a total of 16 pieces to this top. But it is a beautiful top. I love it. I don't know if you saw the line drawings. Plus, you got to do the buttonholes.
Yep. There's how many buttonholes were?
It looks like there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8. 2 on the sleeves. Wait, nope. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. If you count the one on the pants.
Yeah, it says 10 5/8
Okay.
inch buttons
For the top. Yeah.
or jean tack buttons. That's for the
Mhm.
top.
Yeah. Yep. Because there's only one for the pants.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Rosalind, it is 16 pieces. But girl, don't let that scare you. Don't let it scare you.
Go in
Don't
there
let it
and
scare
get some
you.
liquid libation. You'll be
I
all
know. Well, this as much as I have. This live has been brought to you by So Much Talent.
right.
Yeah, this mug, this cup, it's the only one. And the reason why I didn't have more of these made because this was from the Stash Busting Challenge, either last year I think it was, and Ayana Glaze with Ayana Glaze Designs created this cup for me, and so there's other people's images on there on this from that challenge, so that's why I didn't have it mass produced. But there are other mugs that I have, and we're getting ready to come out with some other tumblers and stuff like that. But so yeah, so whatever your libation is, mine is some juice, right?
Mine's just water.
Yours is water, right?
Mm.
Mine is I'm gonna give I think it's cranberry juice or something. So I just pulled it out the refrigerator. Kim said
Nice.
she's one that cuts closely. Really? Uh, you cut close too, Gwen? She said she OCD.
Somebody said, and it ain't a Vogue pattern, 16 pieces.
No, Rosalind. Mm-mm. No, who said that?
Woven now.
No, Gwen. No. Mm-mm. Let me tell you, this know me, girl. This know me. These are designers in the sewing community. They giving it to us.
They sure are.
Mhm. But it's pretty. So many people have made it though. And so all you got to do is in your search engine, just search KnowMe 2069 or ME. I think it's ME.
Emmy, yeah.
Yeah, ME 2069. And but so many people have made it, so and they make it look good. I think it's just time consuming. It's not hard. I think, like I said, the hardest part might be the fly front for those that have never done the fly front. But it's just time consuming. It's not really hard, says the person who's been sewing for a minute.
Me too.
Uh, um,
Since I was 13.
Rosalind says she don't think she's gonna do the small pockets, so you probably won't do the little
Up top.
pockets at the
Yeah.
top. Yeah, that is something to think about. That is one thing to eliminate, and because I'm doing Ankara, I might eliminate those as well. The reason being, you may not see them as well.
Right.
They might get lost in the fabric. I can understand why Lynn did it because her two pieces of denim, and so that's right. That's perfect for that look because it complies with the denim look. Like that's nice. And so if you're just coming in, um, Lynn is about to drop 2 new patterns for simplicity for her sewn adaptive. So Lynn she's been a creative in the community for a long while. She's even been featured. I think we featured in the same sewn magazine at one time. But she's opened up her shop with a partner, and I think his name is Mike. I do apologize. I don't know his full name, but they sew for the physically challenged. And so her patterns that are coming out with simplicity caters to like the handicapped, those in the wheelchairs that make their clothes easily accessible to undo or, make it easy for them to get on or to go to the bathroom, different things like that. So that was her baby. And she was saying that this is one of the reasons why she created this high-low top, because she had that in mind. She wanted to be able to have more people be able to use um, the clothes that we make. Because sometimes we do omit that community, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't always think about the challenge, physically challenged. Even those that may be in the hospital, that are needing some things. I think I saw one sewist who said that she made something for an uncle or somebody that made it easy for them to use their what is that thing that plugs in on them?
Oh, the port,
Or the IV cords and
the
stuff.
port,
Yeah.
the
Port,
port.
yeah, port. That's it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
did. I did for preemies.
uh,
I did stuff for preemies.
Lord, Kim, I missed your comment, Kim. Kim said, "Oh wow, I
Mm-hmm.
won't be making. You won't be making it." She said, "Becky, no, no way. Too many pieces, Kim." Kim's so funny. She said, "Oh no, no." You- oh my goodness. You said you can't count that high, Kim. You too funny. Y'all, come on. This is a challenge. Get into
Yeah,
it. Get into it. It's gonna be fun.
we can always get on here and vent to each other.
Exactly. Exactly. So one of the other pieces we won't go because we've already gone into probably almost 2 hours now into this video. I didn't plan to be on this long, but I didn't realize that it was going to take this long. Uh, just cutting out the pieces and trying to find, it's like a scavenger hunt, trying to find the right pieces. But I think it was either Rosalind or I think it was Rosalind said she might eliminate the flap at the top. So that is another option to eliminate the flap. So to eliminate that and the bottom face and the hem facing, that's another thing to eliminate,
Mhm.
which is not a whole lot, right? Compared to the other, what, 14 pieces?
I was gonna say after you go through all that,
Might as well, right?
you at
Right.
that point, it's like okay, depending on how much the rest of it gives you trouble.
Right, right. All right, so I'm gonna double check now on your faces, on your front pieces. This is for my newbies right here, okay? So on your front pieces, it tells you what your finished measurements are. We do still have them on this is the middle front, and I'm thinking this is the waist right here. I don't know. Yeah, because I'm thinking that's here. So this is the waist, size 16. What is 41? 41 finished measurements for 16 waist. Oh, that was a size 22. See, this is the middle front right here, which means I think that middle front has the yoke, right, which will come out right here.
Mm-hmm.
So if this comes to about right here, if this is the waist, that would be about right there. So guess what? The 16, this measures, as for a size 16, it measures 41 and a half on the tissue paper, but on the back of the envelope, it says the waist measures for a size 16 measures 33.
That's a lot of ease.
That's that flare in the top. But see, what if I went ahead and added that in, right? What size did you say you cutting out? Oh, she froze. Um, you want to do Ankara? Yeah, I'm gonna show you my Ankara, Rosalind. Zena says I like this pattern because I am handicapped to a degree. I have an intravenous pump around my waist, and this top allows the pump to not stick out like I'm pregnant. So yeah, so that was one of the reasons for the reasons like that, Zena. I'm glad you said that because that was what she had in mind. Uh, that's it, Rosalind. Alexander the Taylor. Thank you so much. That's her partner. That's Lynn's partner with us on Adaptive. I think, is it her husband? Um, is her husband named Mike? Looks like I hear her calling Mike. But yeah, you're right, Zena. So thank you for saying so. Oh, your battery died? Okay, no problem. All right, so let me see. If you want to come back in, let me know. All right, just expand that out a little bit. All right. So this is the fabric that I'm using. All right. So it calls for 6 yards. However, I'm not using the all well for my size. I was going by 18 to 22, I think it was. So for my size, it's calling for it. I would need about 6 yards of fabric. But since I'm only doing the top, this works fine. And the reason why that works fine is because I'm going to need to be able to manipulate my pattern pieces to match up prints. Because these are some pretty big prints. And so I want to be able to match up prints as much as possible. So I'm going to need that extra fabric. So right now I'm kind of feeling like this 16 is going to work because there's a lot of room right in here. And I don't know why the discrepancy. Thank you so much, Gwen. I don't know why the discrepancy because it's saying that the waist is a 33 on the back of this envelope for size 16, but yet it's saying on the pattern is 41. So it's flared out a little bit. That's saying the finished measurement. I don't know why it's doing that. So what I'm going to do tonight before I actually cut it out, commit to cutting this fabric. I wasn't going to cut it out tonight anyway, but I'm going to do some research. One of the things that you can do is go to pattern review. Go to Fussy Cut Right. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Gwen. One of the things that you can do if you have not heard of it yet is go to patternreview.com. Patternreview.com allows you to put the pattern number in. Of course, you have to sign or create an account, I think, in order to be able to research, to look up the reviews of the patterns. And it is free. You can do a free account or you can do a Friends of Pattern Review account where you pay a little small fee and you get extra perks and stuff like that. But I usually do the free one. So I actually sign up, get my password, phone number, create an account is what I'm trying to say with your name and password. And you can go on there at any time and review a pattern. So several people have made this. So I'm almost 100% sure that there's been a review done on ME 2069. And so what I'm going to do is go in and hang on, let me minimize my screen here. What I'm going to do is go on, you know what? It's not letting me let you in. Oh, wait, hang on. Yes, it is. There we go. All right. Welcome back.
Thank you. Now I gotta find me again.
Okay.
I don't know what I just did. Oh Lord.
Yeah, you said Gwen, they're your BFFs for pattern review. Yes, definitely. Um, yeah, you do need an account. But it is very helpful because if you have questions about the fit of something, if you want to know how other people review this pattern, if they had issues with it, a lot of people give you recommendations and say, well, you know what, like with this whole different sizes and the measurements, there might be some other people who've experienced that. So it could kind of help you in the process before you cut it. So you'll know how to handle it and what to look for when you're making yours. So if you got 3 or 4 people saying, you know, well, if I cut it out to my size, it was a little bit big, then you already know what to look forward to. So yeah, if you're not a member of Pattern Review, and this is a free plug, I'm not being paid by Pattern Review. But if you want to look for me on there, I'm Mesewalot, MESEWLOT. I haven't reviewed a pattern in ages, like years. But I met a lot of the sewers in the community. Huh? I see a dark screen. I saw you for a minute there, but I don't see you anymore. But at any rate, worst case scenario, and I don't mean worst case scenario, but you do have the option to scan the QR code right here and see Lynn Sewalong, see how she puts it together and see if she gives you any reviews or suggestions on it. All right. Well, any questions right now? This was part 1. I think we're gonna need to come in a little bit more on this pattern. Probably the next time I'll come back in, I'll give you guys the opportunity to Enjoy the weekend. Get this cut out. Get the pattern piece cut out. Uh, Launder your fabric. Make sure you pre-treat your fabric. If it's cotton or whatever it is, if you need to wash it, go ahead and wash it. If it's dry cleanable, make sure you can still put it in the dryer. Don't put it in the washer, but you can put it in the dryer. One of the things that I use, I don't take any of my fabrics to the dry cleaners. I always use there's a system called Dry L, and so you can actually spray it, put it in a laundry bag that comes in the kit, spray it, and there's a wet sheet that goes in there, and you can dry it. Now, be careful with that depending on your fabric, because if you have fabric that gets easily stained or soiled, you don't want to use that. So make sure you do a test. All right, make sure you do a test. I've always said that when you purchase fabric, you should purchase at least a yard extra, and that yard extra will, one, allow you to be able to test for color fastness. Like if it's going to fade, you want to test for shrinkage, and you want to test for laundering, see how it launders. All right. So, but anyway, that's that. So the weekend should give you enough time to decide if you're going to cut this pattern out or not. If you're going to sew along with us, it should give you enough time to go ahead and get it cut, get the pattern pieces cut out. And then if you are waiting on me the next time we come together, I would have gone ahead and cut the pants pattern pieces out, so we can talk about the tissue fit. All right, so we didn't quite get that far tonight, but this was pretty much a pre sew along, if you will. But feel free that if you have any questions, let me know. Inbox me. You can reach out to me either at so much talent at yahoo.com, or you can make a comment here, and I can reach back out to you. There you go. Or you can DM me on Instagram, or if you're inside the Facebook group and you have questions, like I said, there's plenty of people in the group. When you ask questions, when you ask a question about fitting or how something might work, it's good to have pictures so that people can identify and see what the issue is and can better help you that way. All right. So before I go, does anybody have any questions? All right. So I will tell you what you might have to look forward to. Now, if you just want to sew this and not even worry about the fit adjustments, that's fine too. If you really are looking forward to get the best fit possible, then I would recommend following along, because I'm a little bit more thorough. Sew along, I love sew alongs. Don't get me wrong, I do, but my mind, because I do this all the time, I'm always going to making fit adjustments and stuff. So I like to share that while I'm in the process of it. So my next step, I've already checked my waist length. The only other thing that I need to check is the back waist. Well, I did check the back waist length, so that was good. For a size 16, I'm not going to mess with it. Just one last thing real quick. I'm gonna check my shoulder width, all right, to make sure of where that is on my pattern piece. And what do I need to do for that? Are you welcome, Gwen? You are welcome. All right, so let me move these extra pieces out of the way here for right now. I hope you were joining along. I hope this didn't throw you off too much, but I understand it can be intimidating. So one of the other things you do want to do while you are pre-treating your fabric, go ahead and press your pattern pieces. Make sure that you get the wrinkles out. Don't press it with a steam iron. Just press it with a low cool iron, just enough to knock the wrinkles out. Because little spaces, little inches, little centimeters, they add up. So next thing you know, you'll be wondering, well, I thought it said it was going to be this measurement. Well, you had all the wrinkles in your pattern and take them out. And it took away from your fabric. When you are measuring for your for shoulder, like from shoulder to shoulder, make sure that you take out the seam allowance before you measure from shoulder seam to shoulder seam. Otherwise, you might not get an accurate measurement. So I'm doing the size 16. So if just in case you didn't know, a regular tape measure, the width is 5/8 of an inch. So that's a ready tape measure right there for width. All right. So not the wide tape measure, not like the 120 inch, but the regular 60-inch tape measure, it is 5/8 of an inch. So that's a ready ruler right there. And another thing, another little nugget, just in case you didn't know, now this might not work for those that have long nails, but if you don't have nails, your groove in your finger is 1 inch. Measure it and see. That's a ready measurement on your body.
I am, and it is all right. Thank you.
1 inch, right? So
Yeah.
if you're in the fabric store, you need a tape measure. You got your finger, and I can't remember. I think it's I was about to break my bracelet. I want to say from your wrist to your elbow inside is 10 inches.
Now I gotta pull out my tape measure.
Yeah, from your wrist to your elbow is 10 inches. Can you
Well, I
see?
thought I knew some stuff, but thank you.
Can you see that? Oh,
Wrist to elbow.
I can't get the camera straight. But anyway, trust me, try it and see. All right. And then from the top of your head to your shoulder is about 10 inches. I did this years ago when I first started my blog, The Rule of 10. And there was a lot of things that you can measure that's about 10 inches.
Good to know. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Good to know.
Yeah. So what I'm doing now is I got the yoke piece and I want to measure because that's the piece that's going to be up on my shoulder. So I'm measuring from shoulder seam to shoulder seam because I want my shirt to fit right on my shoulder and the shoulder seam. And your shoulder seam is right where the little, like a chicken, when you cut the chicken leg and chicken arms apart, there's that little joint. If you feel right in your shoulder, you'll feel the little joint right there. So that's where you want to measure from joint to joint. Okay. And I know I said I was getting ready to get off here, but all right.
These are good tips.
Yeah. So from shoulder to shoulder, my shoulder is 16 and a half. I mean, this shoulder 16 and a half. And that's probably mine is usually, I think, about 15, somewhere over there, 15 and a half. Yeah, 15 and a quarter. So that means I can actually take this up a little bit or take a little bit off the shoulder. Now, what you never want to do is take that extra off the middle. Like it's so easy to say, well, let me just take it off the center right here. You don't want to do that because that jars the collar and the neckline. So you will go in and take that off on the shoulder. All right. But that's all little extras. So
Do you
y'all
use
gotta
pivot
come
and
back.
slide?
What's that?
Do you use the pivot and slide method?
Yes. Yeah, that would be great for this. Now if it's a little bit like I'm only doing what I say I need a 16 and a half. The pattern is 16 and a half, I'm 15 and a quarter. So it's about 3/4 of an inch that I'm taking off, right? So basically about 3/8 of an inch off each side. So I don't really have to do the slash and slide or pivot and slide on that one. I'm just gonna take that off and just true it back into the seam. If it was a lot more than that, then yeah, I probably would. Just to make sure the lines stay the same. So yeah. But anyway, that's it for now. It is 8:09. We're a whole hour and 9 minutes more than what I wanted us to be. I was just going to devote about an hour with y'all today, but I had a lot of fun. Thank y'all so much for showing up. And if you have any questions, like I said, just feel free to inbox me. And Diana, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Nice to see your face, and
You too.
thank you so much for introducing us to, was it Diana and
Diamond.
Diamond
Diamond
and
and Eve.
Eve. All right, thank you so much
Yeah.
for introducing us to her. Don't forget to go check out Diamond, Designs by Diamond on Instagram and Designs by Diamond on Facebook. All right,
Thank you.
thank you,
And when I come to
Rosalind.
Atlanta, I'm gonna look you up. My brother's in Atlanta.
All right, so now you
He's a
know,
jazz musician.
is he
Yeah.
like I'm 2 hours outside of Atlanta?
He's not in Atlanta either.
Oh,
He's
he's
like,
not.
nobody
Oh,
lives in Atlanta.
okay.
In
No,
Atlanta, they live in Georgia.
look, smart folks live on the outskirts of
That's
Atlanta,
right. That's right.
but that's good. So Gwen, Rosalind, Zena, who else? Let's see. That was Kim and Mo, and there was somebody else. Vicky.
Gwen.
I don't know if Vicky's still on here. I think I said Gwen. If I didn't, sorry, Gwen. Yeah, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. Love y'all to life, blessings and peace. Y'all have a great evening, and I will announce the next so long or the next meetup. All right.
Bye
Y'all
bye,
have a great
everybody.
night. Bye.